The band that fractured after losing a member. As much as I love the rest of Queen, let's be honest. The band losing Freddie Mercury was shattering. John Deacon leaving was kind of the straw that broke that camel's back. I'm glad that Brian May and Roger Taylor keep performing and Adam Lambert does an admirable job as lead singer, but it'll never be the same. I feel like after Buddy Holly died it was just crickets. Van Halen. Two completely different bands. Boys 4 now. After Boo Boo left, the other three just couldn't hold the same appeal. Glad they eventually patched things up. Dead Kennedys. Jello was the band. Alice in Chains. Stone Temple Pilots. Joy Division after Ian Curtis literally became a different group, New Order. The Who. You can't replace the craziness of Keith Moon. Spinal Tap, after John "Stumpy" Pepys died. Barenaked Ladies after Stephen Page left. Panic. At the Disco. Now it's just the Brendan Urie Experience. King Missile was never the same after losing a member. Linkin Park. R.I.P. Chester. Rem was never the same after Bill Berry retired. Metallica was not as good after losing Cliff Burton. Rather, they were great, but I am of the mind that their music would have been even more impressive if Cliff were around. The Beatles were never the same after their original drummer was replaced. Of all the members of the band, he was best. Avenged Sevenfold. Don't get me wrong, I'm a firm The Stage and Libad enjoyer, and I think HTTK is a solid metal album, if not a particularly good seven-filed one, but you can definitely see the shift after Jimmy died. Dream Theater, kinda. Instead of not being the same after Portnoy quit it, actually sounds really Sammy since then. Even now that he's back, it's still Petrucci writing, so it's very similar to what they did with Mangini. Rush, but the new drummer is pretty good. Pink Floyd wasn't the same after Sid. That doesn't mean better or worse, just not the same. Had Pantera not broken up in 2003, I don't think they would have survived the loss of Dimebag. The Cranberries. They just ceased to exist. God, I miss Dolores. Depeche Mode, Vince Clarke left and they became much better, then Alan Wilder left, they released one of their best albums and then became very inconsistent. Genesis, but not in a bad way. When Peter Gabriel left after The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway World Tour and was replaced with their drummer Phil Collins, the prog rock group that they were in the 70s transformed into a pop juggernaut that still showed their progressive roots every now and then. But if you listen to, say, Supper's Ready and follow it immediately with Invisible Touch, you wouldn't think that they were made by the same band. Shocked not to see Weezer mentioned yet. They are the perfect answer to this. After Matt Sharp left, they lost what made them great. The Rolling Stones. When they had Brian Jones, their music was all over the place. Super inventive, super emotional, all sorts of subject matters. After he died, Delta Blues songs about sex for the next 50 years. Weezer. After Matt Sharp left, they just got more and more corny. Rivers does his thing well, but I feel like the band will never match the Blue Album and Pinkerton. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Manic Street Preachers after Richie Edwards' disappearance. Went missing in 1995 after releasing one of the darkest rock albums, which Richie wrote most of the lyrics for. They've continued as a three-piece over the next 30 years, with their two biggest albums coming in the next few years, with the first of those albums including many songs featuring his lyrics, and while they still produce good music, his absence does weigh very heavy on them both musically and lyrically since, especially as they had all known each other since they were kids. They understandably also lost of their youthful punk anger with his disappearance. Foo Fighters after Taylor died. The fun is gone. Now it's corporate dad rock. I loved them, and saw them live multiple times. The last time I saw them, I wanted to leave early. Without Kim Deal, I consider the Pixies in their current form to be a Pixies cover band. No disrespect to Frank. Beastie Boys. Rip MCA. Queen, no one can replace Freddie Mercury. The Tragically Hip after Gord Downie's death. Supertramp, after Roger Hodgson. Death Cab for Cutie after Chris Walla left. Fleetwood Mac after Peter Green left for better or worse depending on your viewpoint. Slayer without Dave Lombardo isn't Slayer. Even when he came back, the damage was already done. Seasons was the last good album. Metallica. Jason tried to fill the gap but they wouldn't let him. Black Country, New Road. Taking Back Sunday when Fred left. Van Halen. David Lee Roth is way better than Sammy Hagar. The Beatles. After Paul died, the double they got for him wasn't as good. Guns N' Roses weren't the same band after Izzy left. My band. My partner died and we got a replacement guitar player. There was a certain voice to the way he started one of our songs. I tried to explain it to our new guitar player and it hit me like a ton of bricks that I would never hear that song played the same way ever again. We have recordings, but it's not the same. Styx after Dennis DeYoung left. Twice for the Clash. When Terry Chimes left after the self-titled album, they brought in Topper Heaton, who was just straight up better than Chimes. Then when Mick Jones and Heaton left after Combat Rock, their last album, Cut the Crap, sucked. Does the Migros count? Northlane, Atreyu, LP. AC/DC. Brian Johnson was good but Bon Scott had a whole other level. It sounded like he lived the lyrics for real. The Acars after Ben or died. They tried, but it wasn't the same. Cheap Trick, the whole legal thing with Bunny Carlos and his dispute with Robin Zander. Dax is a fantastic drummer, but he's missing that looseness Bunny had.